Hi friends! I'm so excited to come to you today because this is a huge passion of mine and I know that you are going to love it just as much as I do. I'm talking to the ladies. This has changed my life, changed my life. I can't even tell you the number of ways that this has impacted me. I want to help you learn how to do this too, and it's totally free. I have spent the last week just putting together a whole package of how I rolled this out 4 years ago. And I was super fortunate to learn from MOPS International. If you're not familiar with MOPS, MOPS is Mothers of Preschoolers. I highly recommend it. Today I want to talk to you about the Courage Collective. So I learned about, it was actually called the Brave Collective. Maybe you've heard of it. I learned about that through a magazine article that MOPS had shared. And I was just so inspired. It's basically getting people together and talking about something brave or courageous that you want to try. And the greatest part about this is that you have a small group of women that you pull together and all of you do something brave together. All different braves that you each individually pick out for yourself, and then you come together and you just keep each other accountable to it. You encourage each other, you learn from each other. It's so huge. One of the braves that I've done was to be present, and I wanted to turn my phone off and get off social media or just not be on there as often. And another was to listen more because I found that I was a very reactionary person. Anyone out there like me? When I hear something, I want to fix it. One of the things that I felt like was being nudged on me was listen, take a moment, respond, don't react. These are just different things that you can do. Maybe it's going to the gym consistently. Maybe it's something to do with a business that you've always wanted to get started, or maybe you feel stuck in your business and you want to figure out how to get unstuck. Maybe it's doing a blog or a podcast or volunteering. Maybe it's restoring or reconciling one of your relationships. Maybe it's getting into counseling. Maybe it's making a move that you have been putting off. Maybe it's making new friends or networking. Maybe it's going back to church or getting plugged in at a church. Maybe it's singing. Maybe it's just pulling something off your bucket list. You guys know. So this is the thing about finding a courage or a brave that you want to tackle, is that you already know what it is. And I know you might be like, no, I really have no idea. No, really, you know what it is. It's that nudge in your stomach that's quietly just pushing at you all the time of do this, do this. That one that you keep pushing away and you're like, no, I'll save that for later, or I really have to go take care of the kids, or my friend needs me over here, and you just keep pushing it off, right? But God, or that nudge in your tummy, just keeps telling you, you need to do this, you need to do this. You already know what it is. But maybe you're like me and you're just like, I don't know how to get started. Or maybe you know, this is what I want to do, but I don't really know that next step. But you have to take that first step of admitting what you need to do sometimes before you can find out what that next step is, right? So this is where the Courage Collective comes into place. I'm so excited for this. And I've made it really simple for anyone to do. I mean, literally, I put together a whole PDF package that I will send you if you want to lead your own, or if you're local to me, I would love for you to join mine. It can be as few as 3 people and as large as 8. I think really the secret sauce is about 6 people because you can dive in really deep. I don't recommend doing this virtually. There's something about that personal connection. You know, Jesus was really great at building relationships around a table. And so this is what this format is that you sit with a group of women around a table and you learn from each other and you encourage one another. You call things out in each other. That was my favorite part of the Courage Collective, is that you call it out in each other, what you see, because so often we don't see our own gifts or talents, or sometimes we don't even see what's holding us back. And when other people speak into our lives, it's really easy to be like, oh my gosh, I guess I can do that. Or, oh my gosh, I guess I do have that resource. Or, oh, I just needed to know that. And so it's really awesome to have this group. So if you want to be a part of it, Let's do this. Okay, so you meet once a month over 4 months. I found that that works really well. And I, of course, looked at the timing and I was like, if we can start this in August, and you can pick whenever in August that you want to start, unless you're in my group, and you got to stick with my dates. We would start in August, and then September, October, November. So we will have it done before Thanksgiving. My thought was, if we can get it done before the holidays, you're gonna be set for the new year. But here's the thing, is that when you commit to being part of a Courage Collective, you have to be a part of every single event. I'm telling you guys, it's 4 dates. That's it, 4. But you have to go to every one. And I'm telling you the reason why, and I've had people get hurt feelings over this, and they never wanted to hurt feelings over this. But if you can't attend one, you really can't attend any of them, because there is so much depth that gets discussed in these groups that if you miss one, you're really not going to be able to get caught up with everybody else. And if you miss one, it's almost like doing a disservice to the rest of their group, because they've shared so much of their hearts and now there's this disconnect. So you have to commit to going to them. That's the only thing. It's free to go. It's free to lead it. It's just, you invite people to come into your home and sit around the table. You can, for me, I am not an entertainer, so I like to tell people, hey, bring a dish to pass, and then we can eat like snacks. Maybe it's dessert. I always like to have mine from 7 to 9 at night, because kids are close to being in bed or they're already in bed. And then you can just snack on like desserts or veggie dishes or whatever. Maybe you want to have it over dinner, and that's totally fine. And you can make a big dinner. There does need to be food involved. That's important, because we just tend to, there's this magical thing that happens with people when they're eating around a table where you talk more and it just keeps you there. So it's really important to have food involved. Let's see, if you don't want to host in your home, you could also have it at like a Starbucks or a local restaurant or a wine bar, whatever. The key is to have it around a table. You can decide what that is. Be creative with it. So if you want to do this, please let me know. Send me your email address, send me a private message, and I will email you the PDF and you can get started. Now, for those of you that want to lead it, literally I can hand you this PDF and you can just run with it. If you want additional support, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a Zoom call, which is a video conference call that will take place during the 4 months that we're leading it, just so that if you want to tap into talking to different leaders around the country, because I really want to make this a countrywide thing. For whatever reason, it didn't seem like it got the wings that it deserved when I saw it in this magazine. And here I am 4 years later being like, well, why don't I just lead it and run with it and get other people to do it? So if you want additional support, I will do a video conference call every month, likely at the beginning of each month. So that way, whatever dates you chose during the month, you're going to get information before your meetings take place. And that way, if you have questions, or if you're like, oh my gosh, what does this look like? Because I get that. I'm like, I want all the information. I will get that for you. And I will be there to answer any questions that you have. But truly, just getting this PDF packet, again, for free, is going to be something that you can just run with and make your own and make it creative. And I'm telling you, this has changed my life. This saved my marriage. This is really the big part of what encouraged me to use my voice. I grew up where women didn't speak a whole lot, and we didn't really get together a whole lot, and I didn't know like how God could use my voice to help others and to raise up others. And so this really helped me to get involved in leadership in different ways, both at MOPS and in my business and in different women's groups. And it's just crazy how it just turned into this thing. And I'm not saying that you have to go there, because I get that that can be scary, but you just never know with this Courage Collective how this one thing that's being pushed on your tummy and is like, do this, do this, do this, how it will turn into something so much bigger and so beautiful. And I'm just super excited for you to see the transformation that this can have in your life and others' lives as well. So I would love to help you out with that. So let me know and we'll get started. God bless you guys. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week.